All right, good morning, everyone. We are tracking that wintry mix that is going to continue across the Tennessee Valley for the rest of this morning. And it looks like it is going to be tapering off heading into, I would say, about the lunchtime hour. So that is definitely some good news that we've got in store for us across the Tennessee Valley. So notice how much of this is starting to transition into a wintry mix on the eastern side of the Tennessee Valley. Here in the Huntsville metro, we're probably not seeing any precipitation fall right now, but things are starting to turn in a downward direction. If we're speaking about roadways, we are getting reports of some roadways that are starting to glaze over. I know there's been a really big accident on 65 right near the Priceville exit, but we're starting to see a little bit of a backup on 565, any type of mountain that you have to go over. Probably seeing a little bit of glazing there as well. Maybe some light snow on the western side, extreme northern Lauderdale County. But this will continue heading into the next couple of hours. But once we start to see these temperatures rise, that's when we will start to see this transition into a more steady cold rainfall. So I'm going to zoom things out just so you can see just how big this particular system is. I mean, it covers or will cover the entire eastern side of the United States. So if you're not seeing snow, you're seeing a mix of sleet and freezing rain and even some thunderstorms in the southern portion southeastern portion of Texas. That's going to move into Louisiana heading into the next couple of hours. So we will eventually see this transition into a very cold rainfall. But for now, since temperatures are below freezing, that's when we are going to continue to see that wintry mix happen. Maybe some light snow showers. Majority of what I showed you on the radar is not reaching the ground. I think our main concern right now is going to be the precipitation that is on the roadways starting to instantly freeze. So we're sitting at 24 right now here in Huntsville, 28 in Coleman, 22 over in Florence. Fort Payne only sitting right at 32 degrees. So we still have those winter weather alerts in effect. They began at midnight, so about 7 hours ago, expected to last through today, the entire day today, expected to last through much of tomorrow, and it looks like it's going to expire right around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. That's when we're expecting all of this precipitation, whether it be freezing rain, snow, sleet, cold soaking rainfall, to be out of the Tennessee Valley once we get closer to the dinner time hours tomorrow. So Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin counties continue to sit in that ice storm warning. We've got winter storm watch for the rest of us across the Tennessee Valley. And then winter storm warning in effect for Giles County in southern middle Tennessee. So here's a look at the current road conditions. We are starting to see, like I mentioned, just a little bit of snow accumulation on the northern portions of Lauderdale County, even Limestone County maybe. But for the most part, we're going to start to see much of these roadways turn icy heading into the next couple of hours, since temperatures only sitting in the low to mid and a little bit upper 20s for some of us across the Tennessee Valley. But for eastern side, just seeing a wet roadway at the moment, but we are expecting to see a little bit of improvement once those temperatures do rise above freezing. You're probably seeing people creep behind me on the parkway right now. We've got some reports of some slick spots on the parkway as well. And then, of course, looking outside Governors, we're not seeing a whole lot of traffic there. So that definitely is some good news. If you don't have to be out and about, I would say probably until about lunchtime, I would just stay indoors if I can and stay off of the roadways. So I'm going to show you the winter impact index for today. This is basically just an index of what impact could be to life in general, whether that be roadways or if we're going to be seeing a lot of icing that might keep you inside. It's basically just a nuisance to life is what I would call this. Major impacts on western side, which is what we were expecting because Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin County in that ice storm warning and are expected to stay that way for today and into tomorrow even. But for the most part, we're going to have minor to limited impacts, I would say, along and west or east of Interstate 65. So we're not expected to see a whole lot of impact here in the Huntsville metro. So let's time this out for you on our future cast. Heading into the 10 o'clock hour, we're still expected to see that mix between snow and sleet and some freezing rain. But as those temperatures start to rise heading into the afternoon, notice we're sitting at 35 here in Huntsville. We'll start to see this transition into a very cold rainfall. Notice western side really stays right at or a little below freezing, so we're expecting to see wintry mix continue for much of the western side of the Tennessee Valley. But heading into this evening, as that warm air starts to surge in from the south, that's when we are actually going to be seeing temperatures rising heading into tonight and into early tomorrow morning. So for most of us, waking up tomorrow morning once again to a good soaking rainfall, could be moderate to heavy at times, maybe even hear a few rumbles of thunder because we do have that moisture that's starting to interact, and we could potentially see a few thunderstorms. Not expected to see severe weather by any means. I know we've been talking about it for the southern half of the state. That's just how complex this system is that's going to be moving through. So expect to see rain continue for much of tomorrow, maybe a little bit of wintry mix on that extreme western side. But for the most part, we're expected to see mostly rain tomorrow. Now, what we're really going to be concerned with heading into late Sunday night, early Monday morning is once those temperatures fall back behind this rainfall, that's when we could be dealing with some areas of black ice. So majority of the precipitation that's going to be left over on the roadways tomorrow, which I'm hoping is not going to be a lot because wind gusts are going to be relatively high tomorrow afternoon. So we're hoping that that's going to help to dry off some of the roadways between once this rain stops and by the time we reach below freezing. But by about midnight, temperatures already hanging out in the upper teens, lower 20s across the board, and most of us going to be dropping into the teens early Monday morning. So this is right at 7 a.m. That's why we're already starting to get those school closures in for Monday, because temperatures aren't expected to rise above freezing, and that means road temperatures aren't going to be getting there either. So if we do have any icy roadways, expect those to last for much of your Monday. Notice heading into Monday night, some of us could drop down to as low as single digits, and that's not stopping there. We're going to be cold even heading into early Tuesday morning. Notice potentially even in the negatives in the extreme northern portion of the Tennessee Valley. So this isn't the coldest air that we'll see. What we're experiencing right now, that's not coming until late tomorrow night through about lunchtime on Thursday, and that's when we're expected to rise above freezing. So winter impact index for tomorrow, it does become more limited in nature. We will still see those spotty areas of minor to moderate, even major on the western side, just due to the fact that they are expected to stay a little colder than us. I would say along and east of Interstate 65, we're not expected to see as much frozen precipitation accumulation as west of Interstate 65. Now, road temperatures, like I mentioned earlier, expected to drop like a rock that you throw in water. It's going to be dropping extremely fast. We'll all be below freezing road temperature wise heading into early Monday morning. This is right around 7 a.m. So right when we would be heading out the door for work or school. That's when we could see those issues arise. Now, most of us are expected to get above freezing road temperature wise heading into Monday afternoon, but it's going to tank once again heading into Monday right around the dinner time hours, and then road temperature is actually going to be dropping into the single digits as well heading into late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Now, Monday things do turn a little better. We'll start to see a little bit of sunshine peek through. But we still stay cold regardless. So we will keep limited impacts in the forecast, I would say, through Monday. Now, freezing rain accumulation, we're not expected to see a whole lot across the eastern side. I know we've been talking about west versus east all throughout the week, but this is just how the system has set itself up. So Florence expected to see a little bit of frozen precip accumulation as well as Russellville. So I want to reiterate, really areas along and west of Interstate 65 have the best chance at seeing frozen precip accumulation. Now, I want to put this into perspective, just how impactful this is expected to be. Notice freezing rain accumulation expected to be extreme in some locations like Memphis Metro, portions of eastern Tennessee. Notice even northern Mississippi expected to see very impactful frozen precip accumulation. Now, we're not expected to see a whole lot of snow accumulation, really areas along and south of the Alabama-Tennessee state line. Not expected to see any type of snow accumulation at all. In fact, majority of that looks like it's going to be staying well off to our north and portions of Kentucky. So what's the impact heading into the next couple of hours? We're going to see that winter mix transition to mostly rain by the afternoon. The cold rain will continue until Sunday afternoon, and then it starts to taper off, I would say, about dinner time on Sunday. And then Sunday night through Tuesday morning, air temperatures dropping below freezing. So we're spending over 24 hours seeing below freezing temperatures. So I'm going to leave you with one last look of our current radar that we've got across the Tennessee Valley. A wintry mix is occurring. We are expected to see this transition into mostly rain by the afternoon, and we'll continue to see a cold rainfall. So roadways that are frozen right now are expected to improve heading into the afternoon.